Nathan wakes up in a car accident but doesn't have any scratches on his body. He is startled by Daniel, the driver of the bike he crashed against, who doesn't look hurt either. Daniel tells Nathan that his wife and their ghosts are dead, and he theorizes he died first because he had been there for several minutes. Nathan refuses to believe it and goes to check his car, which reveals his body inside. As Nathan starts to freak out, Daniel confirms that the afterlife exists and feels at peace, which makes Nathan freak out even more. Daniel brings the body out of the car to make him face reality. A car comes down the road and stops next to the body, and Nathan tries asking for help, but the driver can't see or hear him. After using his foot to check that the body is truly dead, the man empties Nathan's pockets, takes the money, and drives away. Nathan finally accepts that he is a ghost and wonders if judgment comes next. He admits that he killed his wife but swears it was out of mercy. Before he can say more, Daniel begins hearing music around them, and a mysterious white door appears in front of them. They decide the white door must lead to heaven and the red door goes to hell, meaning Nathan is being punished for killing his wife. Nathan apologizes for not seeing Daniel on his bike while he was driving and admits to having drunk before driving. The men share a hug, and Daniel crosses the white door, but nothing happens to him either. A voice speaks behind them, and the little girl Daniel saw appears, meaning she is also dead. She mentions that a man on a bike ran into her, and Daniel admits to drunken driving. The guys try to guide the girl to the door, but she starts screaming and gets tired. Daniel picks her up and throws her into the white door, and the girl disappears. The guys accept it's time for them to cross as well. A huge monster appears on the road carrying souls in its flaming mouth, and Nathan finally crosses the red door. He finds thousands of souls unconscious on the ground, including a young girl named Jean. Jean has trouble sleeping due to her parents arguing over her, and she blames the creepy shadows on a tree outside. Jean, a young girl, is locked in her room by her parents due to her past actions. She is a deformed humanoid who has killed her parents and is now living with her friend Tony, a humanoid yet deformed being. Tony denies killing her parents and is amazed by the warmth of the sunlight and the clean water on his deformed skin. Jean prepares a surprise for Tony, a play for her parents' bodies, using her imagination to tell the story of waking up without breakfast and imagining an audience laughing at her jokes. She uses a chain to drag Tony to the stage, announcing that he is the killer and will be executed. Tony denies having killed anyone and has no memories of his existence before appearing in the cave. Jean makes the crowd vote for his execution and forces him to step on a stool to self-delete. Tony hides the mother's body under the double bed while Jean jumps on it, thinking about teasing her parents with a knife. He also brings the father's body to hide it too, realizing he can't see himself in the mirror, confirming that he represents Jean's dark side and that she killed her parents last night. Jean and Tony have dinner together, but when someone rings the bell, Jean opens the door to find the mailman. She needs an adult to sign the delivery, so Jean calls for Tony but is unsuccessful. The mailman gives her a missed delivery card and leaves. Jean desperately searches for Tony, not finding him anywhere downstairs. As she runs, the creepy drawings she's done throughout the years are shown. She finds Tony feeding on the bodies in her parents' room, and she yells to stop it as the door closes. Jean checks on her little sister, who is making a drawing about the murder. Jean pushes her sister into the oven before turning it on, leaving the kitchen singing a happy tune as the shadows follow her on the walls. In hell, Nathan is disgusted by what he just saw and crawls away. He finds a teenage girl and her mother, Julia, who is trying to make tea while holding back a breakdown. Julia's mother is in denial about her daughter's death and the trauma she has experienced. She is dragging her daughter around like a doll, and they discuss going on a vacation together. In a flashback, Chloe is trying to buy time in the bathtub, but Julia reminds her to hurry up because they couldn't be late to school every day. Memories of people violently harassing her at school haunt her, making her life miserable. A quick prick from the knife makes Chloe's finger bleed and causes the stain on the table. When it's time to leave, Chloe tries to explain she couldn't take it anymore and wants to skip school, but Julia insists she only needed more time to make friends. Julia covers Chloe's body with a blanket and swears she loves her even if she wasn't always there for her. She also announces they'll homeschool Chloe instead. As Julia opens the front door to leave, she is shocked to see a brick wall blocking the door. This triggers another flashback of Chloe trying to hide in a bathroom stall while other girls call her names and kick the door. The girls push Chloe against the mirror, insulting her before forcing her to her knees. Back in the present, it's revealed that the brick wall was a representation of Julia's neighbor, who had come to visit and thought she heard Julia scream. Julia panics and says they're leaving on vacation, but the neighbor notices her acting weird and bursts into the house, seeing Chloe's body. Julia is driving away with Chloe's body on the passenger seat, crying as she describes the day Chloe was born and promising a better life. As a flashback shows Chloe self-deleting in the bathtub and her mother finding her, Julia wakes up bleeding and notices firemen breaking the door to get her out. She struggles in their arms, not wanting to leave her daughter behind. In hell, Nathan covers the bodies of the women and falls on the ground, tired of watching tragedies. The devil shows up and guides Nathan to his punishment. Nathan tries to explain that his wife had multiple sclerosis, but the devil points out she had been crazy and didn't ask for euthanasia, so Nathan hadn't had her consent. The devil then guides Nathan to another area where the souls can forget their memories and become pure spirits of pain and despair. As Nathan freaks out, the devil leaves and makes the entrance disappear. Billy, a rotting soul, comes out, attacking Nathan, smashing his head, and throwing him around without care. Billy realizes he went too far and destroys Nathan's soul, forcing him to reincarnate. In the real world, a mother gives birth to a healthy baby, and the devil tells Billy that by sending a damned soul back, he's created the Antichrist. Billy is punished by cutting his head off, and his new mission is to bring Nathan's soul back.